If you're feeling overwhelmed, taking care of your loved one with dementia, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So many people feel guilty when they are caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's or in form of dementia because it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming to anybody, especially if you're the only person that's doing it, even if you're not. I think that people get the impression that they're supposed to do everything correctly. If they just did everything right, it would all go well and things wouldn't happen. And that's not entirely true. It's not true at all, actually. Hi, I'm Elena Dillon. I'm the owner of Home Helpers Home Care. We're going to be talking about how to care for your loved one with dementia. And the first point is how to remove guilt. So it's very important that we don't feel guilty for caring for our loved one. It's a hard thing to do because guilt comes with the job. I understand that most of my clients' families feel like that when they want every situation to be perfect. They want to do everything perfectly, and they think if they do everything perfectly, nothing is ever going to go wrong. Everything's going to be fine. And the truth of the matter is we're dealing with people, and as soon as you add people into a situation, things can go differently. These are adults who are independent, have been independent their whole lives, and they want to do things their way with or without dementia. So it makes it very difficult to always do the right thing and to always do the best thing for your loved one because they don't always cooperate. So you just have to know that there's no perfect situation. Staying home and taking care of them, putting in an assisted living, having them in a memory care, hiring people in the home to help. None of those situations are going to be perfect because nobody can be perfect. So one of the things that really is important is to realize that the guilt is kind of a natural outpouring of you being always concerned and worried for your loved one, and realizing that that's not practical. Guilt is only the appropriate emotion if you've done something wrong, and you're actually doing something that most people won't do. Most people won't care for a loved one. Most people will hire someone to do it or just, figure out a different way because it is such a hard job. So whatever your situation, whatever you decide, just know that guilt is not necessary. It doesn't help you, and it just adds to the stress that you're feeling when you're caring for your loved one. Just know you have to give yourself grace. You have to understand that you're never going to make all the perfect decisions. It's just impossible. So guilt isn't going to help you, and you have to recognize it, care for yourself, and give yourself grace, and know you're doing the absolute best that you can do for your loved one. So number 2 is accepting the reality. The fact that your loved one has dementia and they're not going to get better. So don't argue with them when a lot of people think that if they just point out the things that their loved one is saying that are incorrect, like if your loved one says the sky is purple, and you know that that's not true, or say they remember a memory different. Say they remember a memory in your childhood and differently from the way you know it is, and you decide that you're going to tell them the right thing. Well, that isn't going to help them. When you say, "But Mom, that's not how it happened. It happened this way." It stresses them out. It makes them scared because it makes them understand there's something really wrong, but they don't know what it is. And it's not going to help them to remember because their memory, it's gone. It may come back, at another time, but right now they can't find it. So what they're feeling is fear, anger, upsetness, worry. And so really correcting them isn't helpful. And arguing with them about it is even worse. A lot of people tell me that they don't want to go along when their parent says something differently. Instead of saying, sky's purple, and you say, yeah, it's, the sky's purple. They don't want to do that because they don't want to lie to their parents because they've been raised to never lie and they're not liars in real life, and they don't want to lie to their parents because they feel guilty about it. But the truth of the matter is you're not really lying. You're helping them to get along and to make their life easier, to deal with their situation with the least amount of stress. And so it doesn't help, and you just have to give yourself a break in the lying. Don't think that you're lying, because you're not really. Just get along as well as you can. A lot of times if they say the sky is purple, what you can say is, yeah, it's just a beautiful day out, isn't it? And change the subject. They already know there's something wrong, and try not to placate them too much because they will know if you're doing that, but just, agree, move on, change the subject. It probably will work better than arguing that, no, the sky is actually blue today. Number 3, Don't ask questions, because with people with dementia and other form, Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, a lot of times the answer is going to be no. If you ask a question, are you hungry? The answer will be no. Do you want to take a shower? The answer will be no. If you're caring for a loved one, you've probably already experienced this, but maybe not understand it and just think, that's just how they're feeling today. But the truth of the matter is their brain isn't acknowledging that they're hungry. It's not telling them they're hungry. It's not telling them they're thirsty. The best plan is just, if they have to eat or they have to drink something, put it in front of them. Sometimes you have to put it in their hand. Sometimes you have to put the bite on the fork, put the fork in their hand, and help them to move it to their mouth. Then a lot of times they'll get it. They'll start moving because there's muscle memory there, and their brain will catch on to that. But if you just ask, are you hungry? No, they're going to tell you no. And as far as, getting a shower, they're always going to tell you no to that. They'll think they remember they just took a shower, or that they took a shower yesterday, and they don't want one. A lot of times with dementia, they don't want to shower. There's something about the change. I don't know if it's that it's cold or that just changing where they are. They don't really want change. They don't like change. So they know that that's going to be different and they don't want it. So they're going to tell you no, whether they feel like they need one or not. So showering with a loved one with dementia can be very difficult. So don't ask. It's shower time. Time to take a shower. It's time to eat. Here's your lunch. Here you go. Take a bite. All of those things. If you just do it, it'll get easier. They will accept it as something that has to be done rather than something that they can choose to say no. So number 4 is be positive. So just like anybody, they're going to respond better to a positive outlook than a positive attitude than they are to negativity. So when you're trying to accomplish something, as in trying to get them to eat or shower or any kind of, move from one side of the room to the other, get in the car, all of it is positive. Okay, this is what we're doing today. Let's go. Let's get it done. Okay. And maybe creating some positivity behind it, as far as like what they're going to get out of it. And after that, we'll have this. We'll have a cookie. We'll have ice cream, whatever it is that you can, just like, kid, you bribe them with something. Be positive about the outcome. You're going to feel so much better after we do this. It's such a beautiful day outside. We're going to take a ride. It's going to be amazing. We're going to see the mountains and the green grass, and, we'll roll the windows down, get some fresh air. Things like that. Anything that can be really positive, or something maybe even from their past that that they liked, that is always a good thing. We're going to listen to some music. We're going to call such and such when we get back. Anything that you think that might help them to feel positive about whatever it is you're doing. Being positive is really the best way to get cooperation. Okay, number 5 is redirection. This is probably your biggest tool. So redirecting them from what they're doing or what's happening to something else is a great way to move on from a negative behavior, negative attitude, negative anything. So change the mood, change the lighting, change where you are, put on some music. Talk about happy memories. People with dementia love to talk about their long ago past because they have more long-term memory than they do short-term. They may not remember what happened this morning, but they're going to remember their childhood. Talk to them about when they were a kid, what their mother used to make for Thanksgiving dinner, what kind of games they played, what it was like when such and such was president, anything, anything from the past. Where were you when this happened? Or obviously try to be something positive. Better, but anything. What did you wear on your wedding day? What do you remember about that? Anything that was a positive, happy memory and that that may lead to a better mood, important. Way better. Playing lots of music and movies from their past. A lot of my clients love Westerns. I'm not sure what that is. And I like them too. I enjoy it when I come in and they're watching them, but a lot of them watch Westerns, old time movies that, speak to them. And music is they've actually done a lot of research about music. And I would create a playlist, get one of those little speakers, put a playlist of their time music. It will change. Music changes your mood. I mean, we all know this, and it's for them too. Like, it changes the synapses in their brain, makes things connect that didn't connect before. It just is so helpful. So music, even getting headphones, noise canceling headphones, and creating a playlist from their time when they were a teenager, when they were a small child. You can look it up. You can look it up what that music was then. Do they like this? Do you remember this song? So those things will go a long way, especially if they're having a bad day and they're just agitated. They've done a lot of research with music for agitation as calms people without medication. And that's, ultimately what we want to try to do is calm people without having to give them more medication than what they would need. Number 6 is self-care and support. This is really like the airplane when you put your own oxygen mask on before you put your child's oxygen mask on. It can't be understated how important it is to care for yourself. That means support groups. Alzheimer's Association has amazing support groups. They actually have a calendar on alz.org that shows you you can look in your area where support groups are and what time they are, the day, the day of the month and the time and everything where it is. And they are so helpful. Most of the time, you're just going to go in there and listen to other people talk about what they're going through, be able to commiserate and know that, other people understand you and what you're going through and make connections. So when you're having a bad day, you have somebody to reach out to. They're really important. So that's alz.org. And then, hire some help. Get somebody to help you, whether it's friends from church, family members, just tell them you need a break. Somebody to come in so you can take a nap or go to the store or take a shower or whatever it is. Or, hire an agency to come in and have a caregiver come in and help you and give you a break, because self-care is so important. Making time for yourself and caring for yourself, it makes all the difference so you're not frustrated. And your loved one will see the difference, and it will make a difference in your relationship, which ultimately that's what you want to remember. That's what you want to do, is provide good care and help to make good memories and feel like you did the absolute best that you can do. To learn more about working with us, go to the website below.